Hello, everyone. I'm Ingrid from thinkingthis.com. I'm a writer, tarot reader, Akashic record guide, medium, and spiritual empowerment professional. I've discovered that decorative planning keeps me productive and motivated as I parent, homeschool, create content, and maintain my spiritual practice. I'm here practically every Sunday, setting up my weekly plan. And today, after we set up week 25, we're going to do a notebook tour, as well as set up my moon mapping notebook to for the next lunar cycle. Yeah, setting it up for the next lunar cycle. So let's get into it. Week 25. All right, so let's go. As always, I'd like to time block dinner, all the time-based stuff. I'd like to do that first. Another very, very busy week. Writing course descriptions for electronics as for transcript. This is a project that I was supposed to be working on every year of high school, and I didn't. So the amount of looking through data and calculating credits and all that stuff is taking a really long time because it's quite a few years worth of stuff. So, if you're homeschooling through high school, be sure that you're writing your homeschool descriptions for your transcript every year so that you're not doing what I'm doing. All right. Dinner is time. Okay, next up, I'm going to do the bedtime routine. There are a lot of chirping birds. I wish I could make sure the microphone picked those up, but if I tried to do that, it would end up hearing it's my computer coming. So this PM reflection has to do with planning tasks, and that's supposed to happen as part of the bedtime routine. And then on Saturdays, we're supposed to have a weekly reflection. And I am proud to say that I finally did a weekly reflection last night after not having done a weekly reflection since January. So we're trying to get back into the flow of reflecting, because there's a lot of task management, but the reflecting helps me to focus on bigger picture tasks that are not as urgent as like the day-to-day stuff, but become urgent eventually, especially if you don't pick away at them. So I'm trying to get back into more reflective planning, just so that I can remember like the big stuff. The big stuff that is easy to forget. Okay, next we have appointments. Schedule. Okay. And here are my Bedtime readings. I mean, not a Bedtime. And you put my dot before I write on it with the pen, because sometimes the pen will bleed on to the tip of the dot marker. Okay, so that's it for the appointments so far. See. There. The metallic is still on the bullet tip, but it's not in the dot tip. It's totally down in the dot tip. Okay. Alright, we've done appointments. Now we're going to add homeschool add-in time. I sound like a robot. What? Oh no. What could be the cause of that? Oh, thank you. They're all fixed because I did it last week. And I didn't have time to do it again. Do I still sound like a robot? Oh, this is not good news. This is bad. I'm gonna have to do something because I can't sound bad the whole time. I'm gonna have to fix that. Okay, testing, testing. How do I sound now? Better? Worse? And if you could do me a favor and just share the link to the live to the book club group, I would appreciate it. Thanks. Yeah, the plugs to my computer are starting to fail. I need like 3 plugs every time I go live like this, and only 2 of them are reliable. Sounds better? Good. God, so that means I've been talking for how long? For like 17 minutes with a robot voice. Not good. Okay, so this is update homeschool register. Okay, next up, we're going to add homeschool instruction time. Dude, I cut my hair. And I feel like I cut more than I planned, but there was a lot of damage. So when I wash this and it gets curly, then we're really going to see how much length I took away. How short? Look. It used to be past my bra strap. Now it's right there. No, I didn't. Did you? Did you call? I assumed he was on vacation still because based on the dates that he had told me.
Um, but yeah, I guess I could. I guess I could do it anyway. No, I made waffles today. Homemade waffles, which is like has turned into like the Father's Day tradition where I make um waffles for like, I mean, technically it should be breakfast, but we ain't eating until 11:30. So, it's brunch waffles. You got sent to voicemail? Yeah, I think to get through you would have to call via WhatsApp because probably isn't the regular cell phone isn't going to be working, like cell phone data. Like it may be all Wi-Fi based while he's traveling. Oh, okay, wait a minute. Wednesday there is an appointment. So we won't be doing any school work until the afternoon. Yeah, man, almond flour. Made with almond flour, eggs, vanilla, baking soda, and honey. Very tasty. I also had some dark chocolate chips. I threw some in there. Pretty good. You did your part. That's good. That's responsible of you. Okay. Yeah, like I wouldn't necessarily say all out. Um like cuz it's not that labor intensive like compared to baking a cake. It's definitely not that as labor intensive as baking, cuz you have a waffle maker. So you just blend the batter in the blender and then pour it into the waffle maker. You do have to make syrup, but luckily I had some frozen raspberry puree that I turned into syrup. And we also have maple syrup. So, yeah. Okay, and on Juneteenth, we are gonna have to do some schoolwork, but it's gonna be like a shortened day. Okay, so here we have our homeschool instruction time. Okay, so now we're going to plan out the evening routine. Did you share the link to the book club group, Raisa? Thank you. Okay. Okay. So I've added the reading that I need to do for book club. I feel like my lighting is strange, but maybe it isn't. It just looks dark from where I'm sitting. Um the rest of the well, we'll add bookkeeping because there's only going to be one day of that. And that day is Sunday. Yeah, we're going to make that Sunday. All right. We've got bookkeeping. There's only going to be one day of that while I concentrate on getting these course descriptions written. So that also means all these other evenings are going to be course descriptions. I really hope this is enough time blocks to get this done. Okay, it's also going to be, if I don't finish, there's a very good chance I'll be doing this on Saturday night as well. I really hope that that's not the case. All right, we're going to add laundry. Okay. Cleaning. Laundry. And what's next? Oh, okay. So if I'm, I don't know. This might be family time. So we're gonna see about that. Because we're not exactly sure about this day. I'm not filling anything in here. That's going to be open until further, I don't know, until further investigation. Okay, so we have time blocked all this other stuff. Now let's get into the mornings. Okay, and then there's like some cleaning, Saturday cleaning tasks. Okay, so we've got these little morning tasks. Now it's time to do like the daily morning routine. Okay, so these tasks are supposed to happen every morning. So I only write them down once and then just put a signifier dot on all the other days of the week. These are all health related tasks. Oops. I should pay attention if you actually seeing anything, because I don't think with the way I was doing that you could even see. Okay, so we have those. Meditate. Direct morning routine. There's only 2 days where that needs to happen. AM reflection. Okay, that's it. We have time blocked everything. Now we just need to make our to-do lists. And then we can jump into the notebook tour. I'm just going to use this N75. To do. Okay. Got this gel pen here. It kind of looks like a shiny green, but it actually comes out very silver. I don't know if you would want to call this platinum or whatnot. Not that I think platinum has got like greenish in it, but if you want to call it something besides silver. It looks very green now. I don't know. Okay. In terms of dot marker, my silver doesn't work. So we only have gray as an option. Okay, grocery list. Next up are the next actions based on next actions based on categories. Okay. Just realized that on this Monday I have a start time of 10:30, but it's supposed to be 10 o'clock. There you go. Okay, what I need to do next is where I'm writing the task blocks. Perfect. All done. I will be populating the to-dos, migrating tasks, and whatnot after the live. Is there anything else that I'm supposed to do? Oh. All right, I'm going to go with this, even though it's black, and I've been trying to really keep it silver. I feel like this would be the easiest for me to deal with now, because a lot of my silver tapes are a bit wide or a bit difficult to cut. So we're gonna go with what's easy right now. There we go. Okay, so there you have it. Week 25. All right. Let's jump into the affirmations real quick and then we can start the notebook tour. So, affirmations. I create the conditions for my happiness all of the time. My will is strong, and I use it to create my most benevolent desires. I wake up every day on purpose to create my life. I accept and claim my unique beauty and wild soul. I am delicious power. Okay. All right, so that's it. Let's begin the notebook tour. I guess we're going to start with the notebook that I've been using the most aside from the planner. So, of course, we have the planner, Sterling Ink Common Planner, with a hefty notes section, a hefty undated notes section. So this is what gets carried around every day, what gets updated every single day, ideally, right? Because it doesn't get updated every single day. But it should be. Okay, so there's that one. Recently, I've been trying to create like a language learning practice. And this notebook is the one for that. This is a B6 notebook therapy. And it's very simple and there's not much decoration here. So grid spacing guide, and here is a threading list. There's no index, pretty much because I was so excited to make notes that I forgot to leave pages for an index. So there may be an index down the line, but for now, we're just going to be threading, which, if you don't know what that means, is basically you write down whatever topic is on the page, kind of like a dictionary. Whatever topic is on the page, you're going to write down the page number where it was discussed before and the page number later in the book where it's discussed again. So see here on page 2, I have language learning and then a 3. That means the next time we talk about language learning, it's going to be on page 3, right? Language learning. And then on page 3, we're going to write language learning again, and we're going to write down 2, which means, hey, the time before this, where language learning is discussed, is on page 2. And then there's a /7, which means the next point in the future where the language learning is discussed is on page 7. So that's basically threading. So this is pretty much my language learning notebook. Here is where I would put exercises, general, language learning things. Here's a list of Japanese vocab. yeah, so that's the language learning. And then I have these in the back here, these like little study sheets. And that's, depending on the language. Right now, we're mostly looking at Japanese, some Korean, and Spanish, because I'm also trying to teach my daughter Spanish. I am a native speaker who messed up and only spoke in English to her child, and now I have to like basically teach my child Spanish. But so yeah, that's what's in the back here. These I guess printouts to assist my study. Okay. So there, that's kept in the back. Language notebook. Okay, next is reading notebook. This is also a notebook therapy notebook. This is an Orca, the Orca version. And this jelly cover I bought on Amazon. I made this last summer before I discovered the Zettelkasten. So this is what I intended my reading journal to be. I set up an index and everything. And I even made a spread for a book I was reading. Like when I started the book, I'm supposed to write down when I ended the book, a rating, and all this other stuff. But I've gotten so caught up with Women Who Run with the Wolves and working with a Zettelkasten that I really haven't used this. I want to, which is why it's part of the notebook tour. I want to get in here, but it's definitely a leisure time activity, and there hasn't been much leisure time. Okay. We're going to be working in this book after the notebook tour. This is my moon mapping notebook. This is also a notebook therapy notebook, and this was released in 2023. And it was supposed to, be used, I guess, to track the moon in 2024. But I didn't use any of these pages. But it's like a nice goals page. But here's the grid spacing guide. Here's the index. And then you see, yeah, well, I did start filling out the index. That's good. And then here we get into the actual pages. And this is where I map out the lunar cycle, starting with the new moon and ending at the next new moon. And I worked with a couple of lunar phases like this. But I, again, didn't touch it again because I ran out of time to even look at the moon that closely. So I was just writing the phases in my everyday planner and leaving it at that because I just didn't have time to get into all this detail about other aspects and what could be happening, specifically each day. But I want to get into that today. So we're going to do that. We're almost done. There's 2 notebooks left. This is my business notebook. This is a Filofax binder. And inside, I have this Hobonichi Day Free that I've had since, I can't remember what year. Since 2023. I mean, no. Since 2022. I just put this 2023 sticker under here. So I've had this since 2022, and I didn't finish it up, so I just kept going. I kept using it again, and then I would make like monthly logs for each year again. But this is like where I write down my notes, content related notes, notes about videos, etc. So I'm not going to really flip through this. But this notebook is about to finish. There's like maybe 5 or 6 pages. Well, let's see, 170, 156. All right, about 16 pages to go. So once that is done, I'm going to be, well, I'll show that in a second. Once that is done, you'll get to see that in a minute. This has a lot of reference related things. And then I have a honeycomb planner that I print out and stick in here. And this is pretty much, this serves as my ephemeris throughout the year. And yeah, that's pretty much what's kept here. There's other reference stuff in the back, you know. But every year, this part here gets replaced. And then I just keep working here, adding pages as needed. If it needs printing out to be used, it'll get stuck in here. If not, I work in the notebook. So that's that for the business notebook. And like I said, once we fill out however many pages there are left in this one, we're going to jump into this one. This is a Tomoe River notebook. And it's a 5mm dot grid, so it's not a graph grid. And the reason I didn't go for graph grid is because the graph grid is not the same as the Hobonichi graph. And I was like, if it's not going to be the same size as a Hobonichi graph, then I'll just do dot grid because it matches the loose leaf that I use where I print out the honeycomb planner. So here it is. It comes with its own plastic cover. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. All right, so we open it. It's, yeah, like I said, it's Tomoe River paper, but it's dot grid. And so this is what I'm going to be in next. I'm excited. It's pretty thin, so I feel like if we compare these two, there are more pages. There are more pages in this, but I still feel like I can stick it in here. You know? I can stick it in here still, and it'll still be contained. There we go. Contained in here. So that's why I got it. I have quite a few hardcover bullet journals that are, you know, that are this kind of style. But this is pretty thick for holding with this binder full of stuff. So that's why I was like, I need to get a skinny notebook. And that's that. that is the notebook tour. I forgot. What was the other thing? Oh, we were going to get into moon mapping. All right. So 30 minutes of moon mapping. And then we're going to say, oops. Then we're going to say goodbye. All right. Okay. So let's get in here. Interesting. The last one I did was new moon in Taurus. This is 2024, new moon in Taurus. Now we're gonna work on, oh no, did we miss new moon in Gemini? I can't even remember anymore. Yeah, wait, we did. Okay, so we're doing July, which would be the new moon in Cancer. That's where we'll be next. New moon in Cancer. That said, you know what? I'm gonna just use the same washi tape from before. Zodiac, silver, associated with the moon and Cancer, so we're just gonna go for it. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go with 8. Actually, we won't cut out the picture. There we go. All right, that's a little messy, but I'm not going to overthink it. There. I didn't take it all the way to the edge here because then I was going to end up with like a piece of the lion's face, and I'd prefer just to have the whole zodiac showing. All right, and then we are going to write here in the middle. New moon Cancer, and then there we go. New moon in Cancer. Since this is already out, we are just going to use it. Okay, so we've got 3 columns. One with the cycle day. one with the date, one with the moon, and then one with phase, which has 1, 2, 3, 4. Phase. Okay, next up, sign. Next, time. Two rows for time. Next, void of course. 2 rows for void of course. 1, 2. Void of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So aspects. And then notes. The same thing occurs on this half. So we're just going to go again. Phase. Sign. Time. Void of course. Aspects. Notes. Okay, so those are our headings. And it's a 2-page spread. We're going to put days 1 through 15 of the lunar cycle on this side, and then 16 through 30 on this side. I mean, it's not always 30 days. Sometimes it's 28, sometimes it's 28, sometimes it's 29. And we're going to see how I'm going to do this, because I can't remember. My ephemeris is about to expire because I only buy like you only get like 6 months in one order, and 6 months is almost up. So here we go. July. Okay, so we can use this right here a little. It doesn't give us the other phases. It's only giving us the full moon and the new moon. But it's a starting point for now until I can either order the ephemeris or look it up online. I mean, look up the phases and their times online. But for now, let's start with the new moon in Cancer is June 25th at 22:14, which is I think 10 o'clock, 10:14 p.m. All right, so let's make our rose. I'm gonna go with this light gray here. How did I have this before? Okay. Before that, then, we're going to have to number the cycle days. Okay, so I want to skip a line this time. So 1. Each cycle day has 2 rows just to give us enough space to get all the information in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, there we go. Then we will have 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay. Okay, so that's cycle day, and I want to make the lines for that. Oh my god, I just moved the whole ruler. This might work better this way. Oops. All right, and then I forgot that over here we have a row for the visual representation of the moon. Okay. Oops. So there we are, all set up. We'll be able to write the phase, the date, all that other stuff. Write whatever aspects we find. If you follow an astrologer, you can pay attention to the videos that they put out regarding this cycle and make note of any aspects that they mention, or you can look them up yourself. Okay, so here we go. The date of the first new moon is the 25th. And the color that we use for the 25th is magenta. So I'm going to write 25 here. And the day of the week. It's the day of the week for the 25th. I'm not sure. It's a Friday, okay. Okay. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. This is the first. Great, I put the book back. July 1st is a Tuesday. Okay, then again on the 9th we use purple. On the 9th day of the month we use purple again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I should just leave this out. 9th is a Wednesday. Ten, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Is a Thursday. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay. Okay, next up is red. 26, 2, 3, 4, gonna go with this mustardy to signify. Oh no, it's not, we're doing orange. That's here. $27, 3, 'Made a mistake already. It's supposed to be a 10. Okay, 3, 11, 19, 28. Wow, this pen is dry. I just had to lick it. Ew. 28. Is a Monday. Oh man, don't tell me you're gonna dry out on me. Monday. 28, Monday. Okay. 4, Friday. 12, Saturday. 20, Sunday. Okay. Next up is green. $29. Wow. All of these things are dried out. Why? 29. Tuesday. 5. Saturday. 13. Sunday. 21. Monday. Oh, that's way too light. $30. All right, there we go. We have dated everything, and it's based on the same color coding that I use in my planner. And I'm going to write the first phase. We're going to leave soon because I do have to cook dinner today because it's Father's Day, so I'm cooking dinner. But we're going to write this new moon phase here. We're going to do it in this color. Okay, and then we're going to write new. The sign that it's in is Cancer. The time is 10:22 p.m. Void, of course, I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up later. And aspects and notes, also not sure because I would have to like dig. I'm sure there's a way to do it looking at this chart, but I prefer to look at the circle. Okay, and then we're going to put in the next new moon is July 24th, which is right here on day 30. Just going to put that right there. That is when the next new moon is. Okay, I'm going to write new again. The sign that that is in it's interesting because according to this, it's kind of still in Cancer. But that's interesting. And the 25th, it goes to Leo. So it's technically the new moon in Leo, even though it's still in Cancer on the 24th when it actually goes new. Oh, and the time looks like it's 12:08 a.m. Okay, and then the full moon is the 10th. So we're going to do that too. I'm going to write full. The sign for that is Capricorn. The time is 23:13, so that's 11:13 p.m. All right, and we're gonna shade in the new moon with some color. All right, there we go. So after this live, I'm gonna go through, just like I did here, and added the waxing, the first quarter, the waxing gibbous, the waning, and all of that on these pages. But because my ephemeris isn't going past July, I can't do that on camera right now. So we'll have to check out how this looks next week, or maybe even continue setting it up next week, because we are actually early with this setup. We won't be using the information here until June 25th. So we're actually slightly early, but you'll either see this completed next week, or we will continue completing it next week. That's pretty much it. We are done planning for week 25. I hope you all had a nice Father's Day, and I hope you all have a great week 25. See you all next week. Only love prevails.